Hi guys, we're about to go live soon. I want to make sure I can get Dr. Jessica Briscoe on here. Let me see. Hey Corey or Chanel Red, how are you? I missed you yesterday. I heard you wasn't feeling well. I am about to interview Dr. Jessica Briscoe, and so there she is. I'm waved at her. Let me see if I can add her now. I'm learning how to do the online with the Instagram. No, I turned the thing around, which is not what I want to do. Come back to me. Okay, there she goes. She sent the... Waiting for her to agree. Mom, your dog wants you.
Hi.
There we go. Hi.
This is my first time live as well, so I'm like,
me too, because what I tried to do it with the young lady from London, and it didn't work because I think her connection was low from us so far. But hold on one second. Sure. Mom, Coco wants you. My dog. I'm at my mom's house. That's why I was like, I have to find a place where I can log in because I'm usually doing it from home, and I'm usually doing it from my laptop with the Facebook. Because the only thing with Facebook, it allows me to have like the agenda questions going on, the strolling across and stuff. We can see people's questions, but this works. Whatever works for you. I want you to be comfortable.
Thank you.
But I just want to say, I love your picture that's on the article. It is so fierce. It's just like... Because when you read your article, and we'll talk about this, guys, you can go to knowledgeandnight.com. We're just getting started. We haven't really officially started the interview yet.
Yeah.
I just want to say, but the picture with the article, you look like you mean business, and you are ready. You're like, look, I am here, and I am a force to be reckoned with. So I just love it. Like the hair, everything. Like I'm looking at it now with your glasses. You look like, don't mess with me. I got this. I work for this. Yes. So my mom just said hello. So I guess we can see some of the comments to scroll up.
Yeah.
Okay, because we like to encourage I'm going to ask you the questions, and then I kind of look and see if we have any questions from the audience, and I kind of try to engage them in. But like I said, we're basically going in the how the article went, and like who is Jessica Briscoe, then go from your journey, and then some of the things that you like, you don't like, and then what your encounter and stuff. So, but I just love reading your article, and I love what you did that some of our STEMsations don't do, and nothing, but you really got very specific about your field and about what they needed to do. You need a good residence, you need a good mentor. Like it makes the most success by being around those that are able to help you. Because I didn't realize this from reading your article, and we'll talk about it pretty soon, but how competitive that field is just to get into it. And I was like, really? I didn't think of that. So
listen, I'm really out here trying to recruit. So if I have to start from elementary school, like I want to see things change.
And that's what I'm doing. I'm starting from preschool. we starting from preschool.
Right.
So we have people, so I'm going to go ahead and get it started. I'm Nakisha Washington. I'm the CEO and founder of Knowledge and Night Enterprises, where we encourage and inspire young ladies to have confidence, character, and class while becoming future leaders. Now, by me being a science teacher, I really promote them to be future STEM leaders. But just even as my 4-year-old daughter, I don't want to say they have to go into STEM, but we want to definitely equip them with the tools and skills necessary to go into whatever field they go into. Because you also always going to need critical thinking, problem solving skills, logic, so those things will carry out throughout. So I'm okay with whether you want to go into STEM or law or different things, but we definitely want to just show you that we are underrepresented in the STEM fields. And for those that don't know, STEM fields is science, technology, engineering, and math. And even now we're doing STEAM, where we're actually adding the art. But we actually want you guys to just be equipped. And like you said, you start from elementary. We're going further. We start from preschool.
Yeah.
And so what I've designed, based on my daughter, Nyla Danae, her superhero alter ego is called Nyla Nova. And so I created Thank you. I created a preschool activity book for preschool girls. And so it's her going to be solving mysteries, but using STEM skills. So she has her signature look is her goggles with the rhinestones, because we're going to talk about STEMsation in a second. And then the magnifying glasses she uses with rhinestones. And so I came up with the term STEMsation, and that's why we're here today, because a STEMsation is a trailblazer in the fields of STEM that are like skyrocketing to their highest potential. But like I said, they're trailblazers, but they're doing it with style and grace. And like I said, your picture, Dr. Jessica, is very fierce for this one. So if you have not read about this wonderful STEM leader, please go to NalaDenae.com, because she is fierce. I loved reading her article, and she gives very specifics of how to get into her field, which we're going to learn about, which is mostly, you know, African Americans and African American women are not very dominant in this field. So she's doing heavily recruiting. And so we love it. We love it. So I just want to give you a chance to say welcome to STEMsation Spotlight on Sunday. And we're so happy to have you. And we just want to know, who is Dr. Jessica Briscoe?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. First of all, I love what you're doing. I love that you're using, you know, your talents to center around your daughter. And like, as you're encouraging her to be the best and do whatever she can, you're like, why can't I do this for other little girls? And
that's exactly, yeah.
I think that's amazing. I think we should all have that mission, whether we have kids, whether we don't have kids. I think for me personally, like, I want to be a champion of women in whatever they want to do. Just being a leader and being able to have the confidence to do what they want to do. So I'm Dr. Jessica Briscoe. I am a gastroenterology fellow, and I work here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I graduated college at University of Maryland, Baltimore County. I was a Meyerhoff Scholar there. If you don't know about that program, that's another amazing program that I would ask you to Google. Definitely, they are, it's a program that encourages African Americans to pursue careers in fields of STEM. Definitely leading the nation in producing African American PhDs and MD PhDs. And it's just an amazing program that really gave me the confidence and the skills and the knowledge and the support to be able to move on to medical school. I went to NYU School of Medicine, where I got my MD.
Yes.
And now I went to residency in University of Maryland, so I basically went back home for residency. And now I'm here in Philadelphia pursuing gastroenterology, which is a field that I love and I'm so passionate about.
All right. And I just want to say, those that she mentioned about the different scholarship opportunities, that is in the article. And what I want to do with NalaDenae, I started a scholarship central. And so that's something where you can go and look up different scholarships. And I definitely want to add that, because I want our readers, because even though I'm kind of focusing a little bit on the preschool, but I still want to do women in STEM and girls that are pursuing careers in STEM. So I want to give them the resources and equip with them with all the tools. So that is a great thing that we definitely want to highlight, because we don't know about this.
Exactly. And I was just going to say, information is power, knowledge is power. So the more we can get things out there, even if it's not necessarily the right program for you, just putting out the information, you know, to reach more people.
Yes. Now, explain fellow, because when I read that, I said, okay, she's a doctor, but now she's a fellow. So explain that for our listeners, please.
So let me clarify. A lot of us are getting our information from Grey's Anatomy.
Yes, I love it. Yeah.
Shows. It's become this sort of like hot thing and it's nothing like that. Well, I mean, there is some truth. I would say that the show, which I'm watching now, that's the most like medical life, would be Scrubs, actually.
Really?
Like, it really goes through, even though it's funny, it really
does
capture.
The comedy one? That's
it really
oh my God, I would never guess that.
In a way that is like a little more on the truthful side than some of the other shows. But so basically, at least in the United States, when you go through medical school, yes, you get your MD, you are a doctor. But you don't just go out and practice. You enter a residency program. And there's all different types of residency programs, to name a few. So I did internal medicine. That's basically adult medicine. There's pediatrics. There's also family medicine. There's OBGYN. There's surgical residency, so general surgery. Then there's also specializations, you know, orthopedic surgery, neurology. Those have like their own residencies. So when you're a resident, you're practicing as a doctor, you're treating patients, but you're under what we call an attending physician. Yes. So an attending physician will be there, you know, with you in terms of like developing plans and the patient management, but you're doing the full groundwork. So you're basically learning as you're doing and applying all of what you learned in medical school. Obviously, it's a little bit different once you get in the field. So once you finish residency, just to kind of back up maybe a little bit. So internal medicine encompasses a lot of fields. Like, yes, you're going to see, you know, your heart doctor, your cardiologist. They are also board certified in internal medicine. So there's internal medicine subspecialties that you have to do an internal medicine residency before you do your training in that specialty. And so those specialty programs are called fellowships.
Okay.
So
I
at
hear
that
these
point,
terms, but
right, exactly.
There's
levels. So when you see a fellow, you're seeing a board certified internal medicine physician. I'm just speaking for myself personally. There's other residency programs where you're, you know, there's other specializations. But for me, so when you're seeing, you know, a cardiology fellow, gastroenterology fellow, they've got their board certification and they could just practice as an internal medicine physician if they felt like it. But we had the desire to want to specialize and become, you know, something more, you know, kind of like narrow our scope basically and what we're managing and treating. And so, you know, I decided on gastroenterology, and I'm sure we're going to get into why I chose that.
Exactly.
And there was a year where I just practiced adult medicine, which was great. Like, I love patients and I love being around people, but I just felt like, you know, I think I enjoyed more like a narrow scope. And because I really enjoyed the field of gastroenterology, that's why I kind of shifted and wanted to pursue that. So I went into fellowship.
All right. So let's just follow up on that, because that's going to be the next question. Yeah. What made you pursue that particular field to narrow it down? Because, you know, like, I know when I go to my family doctor, and I did hers, one of my STEMsation, Dr. Love, she's great, but she's family. So that's like general, you know, it does everything. Yeah. But you kind of went a little further and narrow your scope. Now, this goes into the question of how did you pursue this, and who was your inspiration to pursue this as well?
Definitely. So if we could step all the way back, when I was in medical school, there's like a big divide. Like when you're going through sort of your first and second year, it's all about book knowledge, you know, just memorizing everything and kind of getting all the knowledge. When you get into your third and fourth years, those are like your clinical years of med school. And that's really where you get to experience, you know, you're in the hospital and you're working in all the different, you know, specialties, subspecialties. So you're really getting that, like, you know, experience, and that's what helps you kind of formulate, you know, okay, what do I want to do? What am I going to apply for? So I think when I first started out, my first few rotations, I think surgery was maybe my second or third rotation, and I absolutely loved it. You know, I didn't love like waking up super early and things like that, but I really loved working with my hands. I loved being in the OR. I was really, really, really thinking about it. And so I definitely, you know, tried to talk to a few senior surgeons, attending physicians, and seeing what their thoughts are on, you know, and pursuing that field. And I think for me, I sort of, you know, where my life was going and what I wanted it to be, a doctor is, you know, part of my identity for sure, and that will never change, but it's not going to be completely me in a sense where I don't want to be consumed by work. And I feel like sometimes when we get like that, we don't enjoy it, and you know, we kind of burn out. And so I, you know, in talking to different physicians, surgical physicians, I just, you know, I loved what they were doing specifically, but the path to get there, and plus the longevity of the career, for me, I didn't feel like made quite sense. And so I started sort of, you know, thinking about other things, and I went into my medicine rotation, and you know, I was told like, well, if you like surgery, but you weren't really sure about it, you should think about some of our more procedural subspecialties. And that's when I started looking into like pulm critical care and gastroenterology and cardiology. Wow. And I had a mentor at NYU, a young like Haitian physician who was just amazing. He was like, you need to think about GI. Like, you get the best of both worlds. You get to see your patients. You get to follow your patients. You get to work with your hands. You get to do all different kinds of procedures and lots of different pathology. Like, you're never going to be bored. It's always going to keep your attention. And it's different every day. And so I did an elective in gastroenterology, and I was like, this seems really, really great and amazing. And so before I left medical school, I think I pretty much knew that I was probably going to try to pursue gastroenterology after residency.
And I think that's amazing because I just want to say a little bit of my background. When I graduated, I was top of my class in high school, and I went on to engineering. And so you couldn't tell me I was going to do electrical engineering. There's electrical. I took the ASVAB. They said I'm high in electrical. So the school I went to, that I think you did the first year your regular classes, and the second year they make you do mechanical, civil, and different things. And I was like, why? I know which one I want to go to.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing how you had that tunnel vision of like, I know what I want to do, but it's about exposure. And that's one of our missions, is to expose people to different, because you think you want to go here. And I think this is my favorite question to ask all my guests is, how did you get to the field that you're in now? Because so many of us start off one way, and then like I said, now I'm gonna end up being a science teacher, and mine because I started having kids and I got married, and I was like, well, I want to be with, and so it's just amazing how that happens and how we change our direction. And it's like, but once you, like you said, you took that one class and you like, this is it. And then it's like the light bulb pops on and you're like, this is what I want to do. And that's what I just want to encourage our young girls, that you can have your heart set on, because everybody wants to be a pediatrician. Everybody wants to be OBGYN. But when you try other stuff, you're like, oh, I really like that instead. So I really like two things that you said, the programs that allow you to check out different things.
Yeah.
And then I like that you said a good mentor, because that makes the world a difference. Even for me as a teacher, I had a good mentor, Sherilyn Pillow, she's back to Martin now, but she was awesome. Even now, she came to our book signing yesterday, and she still was mentoring me. And when you have a good mentor, that helps your journey that much better, because they kind of know what you don't know what you want yet, but they can kind of see it in you. So I think that is awesome. So like I said, I love that, you were able to find the direction you want to go in, but you had to try other stuff. And that's what it's all about, because you don't really know. You come from high school, you're like, this is what I want to do, and then it changes. So I think
one of my sister docs just joined. Hey, Sam.
That's what I was going to say. Let's
Dr.
say hi to some
Tony,
people.
Dr. Berry. She's amazing. She's an interventional radiology fellow, so she could be a STEMsation.
Well, definitely. She's a STEMsation. I definitely need to connect with you, so make sure I get with you, because I definitely would love to, because that's our goal. Every week we want to highlight a different woman in STEM, and then I want to provide a mentoring opportunity for, like I said, our middle and high school girls, because even if they're not even going into STEM, they just need somebody to encourage them to say, study, girl. Do your work, do all this other stuff. So I think that's awesome. So hi, all the people by being Instagram, they have these cute little names. So I just see like Dr. Barry Tony. Hello.
Yep, that's her.
Burial Islands Capping Plus. Hello. Jonathan 91. Hello. Then it's like Rome MC MXC. Hello.
Oh, and one of my other friends, she's a teacher as well.
Hey, we need to interview you guys. See Mitchell.
She's amazing also.
R. Smith Living. Hello. I think it's Labria Amari. Hello.
Yeah.
Then No Swell. That's what I say. Instagram we have all these cute names, and I'm like, what is that? And then I have one of my former STEM sections, which was also my former student, Lacey Watts. She goes by this French name, but she's going to actually, I think she just finished her master's, and she's going to start her doctorate program and stuff. So it's amazing that we still have all you guys connected, and we want to keep connecting everyone, because we have to, that's the only way we can do it, is by being connected and continue to encourage each other.
Absolutely.
All right. So that's it. Let's go to the next question. What do you love most about your current job?
So I love to do procedures. So it all goes back to working with my hands. I feel like I think innately, like, I love to be a problem solver just in life in general, whether it be something small or big or whatever. And so I think, being able to do a procedure that gives a result, like we stop the bleeding, we, cauterize this, we took out this polyp, we did something for you so that you can get better. I think it's so satisfying for me to be able to tell patients that, this is exactly what I did, and, and these are the next steps for the plan. So it feels good, and it feels good to be able to do that. Like, it takes a certain level of skill and learning to be able to do the types of procedures that we do. So that in itself feels like an accomplishment. And then being able to help patients, it's just so many layers and levels to it that is so enjoyable, and there's always more to know and always more to do. So it excites me.
I know. And when I read that, because I'm one of the ones that I love ER when it was out, Grey's Anatomy, Scrubs, but I am a punk. I cannot see blood and procedures and different things. So just by you saying that in your article, I was like, oh my gosh, she's like, to stop the bleeding this. I said, that's what I mean. She has to be like all up in there. And so when like I'm watching Grey's Anatomy and they start doing stuff, I'm literally like, I like the storyline. Like, I don't like to see the procedure, even though I'm curious about it, by me being that science teacher.
Yeah.
But my heart, and I was like, oh Lord, no. So it's so fun when you like, that's what you love. And I was like, oh my God, that's so opposite, but I applaud her. So that's awesome. Now, I always ask this, and I know you kind of said they kind of go together. So that's what's most rewarding to you as well. So then we have to look on the other side. What are some of the drawbacks or some of the things that if you could change right now, what would you change?
Yeah, definitely. I go into this in the article. Medicine in general and GI especially is not diverse at all. I mean, I can't even count how many, patients have been like, oh, you're my doctor, or are you the transporter? And on the flip side, how many Black patients have like hugged me and said, keep going. It's so nice to see you. We've never had a Black doctor before. So gastroenterology actually is a very, very male dominated field still. It's only about 12 to 13% GI female gastroenterologists, and of GI as a whole, so not just female gastroenterologists, but GI in general, only about 4% of gastroenterologists are African American. So that's pretty astounding. Very, very, very low. So I'm used to being in rooms where nobody looks like me, but GI, I feel like a lot lately. It's been more noticeable. Like, oh, this is, all right, I'm out here. So I think that is something that I definitely want to see shift and change. And I know medicine in general is shifting. They do say that women have tipped the scales in terms of medical school enrollments now. So it's a little bit over half women now. So I think hopefully we'll start to see waves of change. What I will say is that I was told, and I haven't confirmed this, but I may be one of the first Black fellows at my program specifically. So, it can be hard to be in these positions, and we as women in STEM in general and these types of fields, I think we all have similar stories in that sense, but it can be hard, but I'm sure we're going to go into it. You find people and mentors and a tribe of women and your family that will push you to your full potential.
Yes. And I just find it is amazing. In going into 2019, we're still being the one of the first. The one of the first. And we're like, it's 2019, because I was just talking to someone. I was like, I remember Y2K, and everybody's like, oh, the world's going to end.
Yeah.
And we're like almost 20 years later, and we're still being one of the first. And then to piggyback on that, even though that I'm a science teacher, I have been like one of the only ones of women of color in like a whole school district. Yeah. And so when we go to the science meetings, I'm looking around, and luckily I had a friend, Sharice Anderson. She's another African-American science teacher in the district that I was in and before I moved, and we'll be the only ones. And so it's like, man, like, and I've gotten people asking me now, what do? You're a teacher assistant? No, I'm a teacher. You teach what?
I'm the science teacher.
Yeah, you teach science? You don't teach such and such? No, I teach science. And then, and just this other, because I just started in the school district. And I know someone was asking me, so what do you teach? And I was like, well, what I love to teach is physics. Physics? Yes.
Physics, exactly.
Yeah, and it's so amazing. I mean, it's just astonished me that some people still to this day can't believe that we're smart enough, that we're this, that we're that. And like you said, we're still breaking. I see Dr. Barry Tony said, breaking barriers, sis. And yes, we are. So I am so proud of you. Like, I love to hear that we're still the first of something. We're going to break these barriers. And that's what the whole program is about, and all about being a STEMsation. Yeah. For those of you that just joined us, I said STEMsation is a trailblazer in any field. And so you definitely is a STEMsation. But we're doing it with style and grace. So if you check out Dr. Jessica's glasses, you see our head, you see our picture. We're walking into these boardrooms and surgical rooms and stuff, and we're still bringing our identity. We're still bringing our sisterhood. We're still bringing our like I said, when I go do labs, I got my heels, my nails done, my hair, and the kids looking at me like, you doing a lot? Oh, I'm going to be fabulous with that. You know, like you said, being a scientist is my identity, but I'm still who I am. And I just want girls to realize you don't have to hide who you are. You can be natural. You can wear weave. You can do whatever. But be who you want to be. Just show up. We just want you to show up. So I definitely agree with you on that.
So many important things you just said. So for
you
those,
too.
You know, who just joined, like, be yourself. Show up and be yourself. You don't have to change yourself to be in these positions. You don't have to change yourself to be in these boardrooms, to treat these patients, to be in these rooms where nobody looks like you. You are supposed to be who you are and where you are.
Yeah, and it's so funny. My former student, she said, you sure did, LOL, and still fly to this day. And you better know it. I'm still coming with it. Somebody said, and a wig. Yes, I would throw on my little lace front and make this my hair. But when I wear my wigs, I have little baby hairs going. But it's like I'm telling them, we don't have to hide anymore.
Right.
We've been hiding for so long, and we're trying to fit in. We're not trying to fit in anymore. We are standing out. We are being sensational.
Right.
And whatever that we need to do. So I love it. I love it. All right. Next question. We're getting out. Let me see the next question. I keep sound like I said,
Dr. Berry is taking us to the next place. Don't talk about She's gonna start.
All right, things you change. We kind of talked about the most difficult things working about in your field. So let's talk about your future goals, because we kind of know you're in this fellow, but where do you really see yourself? Where do you want to go? And you know, just go from there.
Yes, definitely. I mean, I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think entering fellowship, I knew I wanted to stay in an academic environment. One, because I love to teach, I love mentorship. And, you know, when you get into sort of private practice, not that I may not do that, but the relationships to academia is a little bit different.
Okay.
So I think that my eventual goal, where I see myself in maybe several years, would be as a fellowship director. So a gastroenterology fellowship director.
I love it.
And you know, we talked about how the field needs to change, and maybe there could be a new wave of change, but unless we're in positions to make the change, I'm not sure how big of a change it we'll see, because
okay, there you go.
Okay,
there you go.
It starts from the top. So the leadership, you know, is still pretty much the same, and that's going to take a while to change as well. And in GI sections across the country, very few female physicians hold positions of leadership in GI sections.
Exactly.
So if I want to be, I need to be in those rooms where we're thinking about, you know, choosing the next fellowship class and choosing the next people that get the position to be, you know, a gastroenterologist.
And I think you really hit on that about the leadership. Like, you know, it's just not for us to be the first to do something. Now it's to go to the next level. And then I was just thinking about some of our, like, directors, like Ava DuVernay and different ones, that they're the first, but then they're in leadership positions. So now they're only hiring women directors.
Right.
They are
changing the game.
So once you get to that level, it's time for us to start bringing the next people. And that's why, like I said, the programs that I'm trying to do, and I know the stuff that you want to do, we're trying to bring the next stuff. Like you said, letting them know, just exposure, and letting them know about this scholarship opportunity and this fellowship opportunity.
Right.
Because they don't know. And what I learned back in high school, my counselor didn't tell me all this stuff. My counselor was like, oh, you want to go to school for that? Okay, sign this pay. But, you know, I didn't have that great counselor to say, well, you need to apply for this, you need to apply for this. And then, you know, most of, when I was growing up, most of them, we'll talk about your family influence, because I was really impressed with that. Yeah. But, like, my mom went to school, but she didn't finish college. So, you know, like, I had to learn how to do the whole FAFSA stuff by myself and all this stuff. So it's about having that somebody that went before you to help you. Exactly. And because if your counselor has 400 people on their roster, and you come there with your problem, they're like, yeah, okay, but we want to create a community where we saying, hey, what do you need? Let's show you, because you don't even know what you need. Well, how about this? Let's look at this. You know about this program. Have you tried this? And giving that whole exposure. So I love your future goals, because that should be everybody that's comfortable in that situation. Go a step further and become some type of leadership so you can bring the next people in. Because unless we're on the hiring end or the selection committee, we won't see more of us in there, because they're not going to select us. They're not, you know, it's, you know, if they do, they just think and it's going to do just be one. No, we want to see 10, 20. Let's see us all come through the door. So I love that. I love that. All right. So we talked about your future goals. And so this um, I want to ask you about the tips and advice you would give to others that are coming behind you. And when I said you gave it to us in this paragraph, I know you just need to summarize, but you was like, you this. You were so like this. I was like, I love it. So what tips?
Well, I think when you're in careers of medicine, you have to be very intentional. And I think what you just touched on about, you know, mentorship and knowing the next steps and having good advisors and things like that. I think as people of color and women of color, like a lot of us may be like the first, you know, to go to college and, you know, different areas of education where even though our parents may push us, you know, to our full potential, they may not be able to give us the exact steps. And there are others out here who know the book backwards and forwards. They know where to go. They know, you know, who to talk to. They know what books to buy. They know what tests to take. They have tutors. They have this and that. They have all these, you know, resources. And I think, you know, being able to sort of reach back and say like, okay, don't even worry about it. You may not have this, but let me tell you what I did. Let me tell you, these are the resources that I use. Let me tell you, you know what I mean? To be those people for each other. You know what I mean? And that's really why, you know, either I lean on my friends, others in like, you know, my peers that I can say like, hey, well, what did you do? Or, you know what I mean? Or there was one time I remember in medical school where I saw a Black resident and I was like, hey, I'm Jessica. I'm looking for a mentor. And she was like, girl, let me talk to you. You know what I mean? And just being intentional. And I was just like, you know, I know what I want to do, but I don't know how to get there. And I need somebody who's gone ahead of me to do these things to help me figure it out. And I think you can't be afraid to sort of ask those questions. So to get back, what was your question again? Because I got all
tips and advice, but this kind of goes on with the next kind of, what would you tell your younger self?
Right.
What you know now, so kind of what you would tell your younger self.
And I think one of the things that I definitely, like when I look back over everything that I've done is just, I think I was just so afraid of being looked at as like stupid or not supposed to be there that I'd never asked enough questions and I wasn't confident in sort of, you know, like I did the work, I'm here, like I'm supposed to be here. So I would tell my younger self, like, be confident and don't let the opinions, the looks, or slide comments or whatever, if anybody around you like dissuades you from, you know, your purpose and doing what you're supposed to do.
That is
and that you know more than you think you know, and you need to be who you are. And if that intimidates people or, you know, makes people afraid or come after you harder, like that's just what it's going to be. But know that God gave you what you have and he's going to use you through it. So.
And I agree with you on that. I was just letting them know with the website where they can find the article. But that whole being intentional is excellent because I think sometimes that what we do is we don't make enough, I'm not to say, but like statements like, this is what I'm going to do. We're like, well, if this don't work, I'm going to do this. But no, let's put some goals in place and let's make sure that we're very intentional and we do our research too ahead of time. And then something else you said, I thought about being afraid to speak out. And I just remember we had a media specialist. She was an older lady, you know, older Caucasian lady. And I was a teacher and my name is Nikisha. And like, I have a nickname called Muffy. So it's nothing near Nikisha, but everybody knew me by Muffy. So this is her first day meeting me. She was like, okay, Nikki. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like,
who's Nikki?
I've never been a Nikki. But I didn't want to come off a certain way. So I was like, okay. So like for 4 years, she called me Nikki. And I'm like, why did I let this woman call me Nikki? But it was more of me, like just wanting to fit in. I'm new here. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know, you know, like I just want to make friends. And now I'm like, let somebody call me. I'm not Nikki. My mama name no Nikki. It's Nikisha, you know. And if my mama pronounces it, it's not Keisha. So, you know, like together. So just that. Not shrinking. I think that's something that we have to teach. Like you might be the only one in the room, but your light is shining so bright.
Yes, not shrinking. Yes, I can preach.
Do not shrink. Your light is so bright. As soon as you walk
but I will admit, like I did shrink. There were times where I was in rooms where I was on rounds and I was shrinking into myself, not asking the questions. And it's just like, I want to go back and shake myself and be like, girl, don't do that. You need to get everything that you came here to get. You're paying for it just like all these other students here are paying for it.
And you like, deserve to be here. Dumb. I don't want to seem dumb. Or even just if you disagree with something and you know they might have misspoke and said something, I would never correct it. Just like I said, calling me Nikki, because I was like, no, I'll just shrink. But now,
no, not shrinking.
Not shrinking. My, like I said, my light shines as soon as I walk in the door. So they want to know who I am, what I'm about. But if I'm coming in there and they're like, all like this,
right.
they're like, why are you even here? I want them to know exactly why I'm here. So I think you did some great points. One of our last things before we get to talking about your family and influence. Now, imposter syndrome. Yes,
that's
Dr.
right.
Bear. We are not imposters anymore. We are living in our truth.
Yeah.
And being seen. Just combating the stigma of being a woman in STEM. What are some of the things that you do? And I know you have to do it on a daily basis. Yeah. What are some of the things you have done that can help some of our viewers and those people that are going to be reading about you, like help them understand that you don't have to shrink, you don't have to do this? What are some of the things that you have done?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is really that I've recognized that about my younger self. And just as I've gone through the stages of my training, I think coming into this season, like knowing that this is what I want. I am a gastroenterologist. I'm gonna, amen.
Yeah, I love when you
speaking
say
things into existence.
Not like,
right. And so I think I am just doing my best to be my best in what I desire to see, like how I desire to see my career take shape, because really that's what fellowship is about. Like, yes, learning the specialty, but then it's like you're starting to put things in place for how you see your career, in 5 years, 10 years, that type of thing. And so, I mean, I combat the stigma by being me, and I'm gonna speak out. I'm gonna be who I am. I'm gonna wear my hair natural. I'm gonna be who I am, and I'm gonna be in this position, and I'm not going anywhere. So, and I had this conversation actually with Dr. Barry and another one of we call each other sister docs because we're sisters. Legitimately, like they're my sisters. Like I wouldn't have been able to get the training without them. And we're all, African American women just doing bomb things, and we're all doctors.
I love it. Different sister docs. Yes, I definitely want to connect with all of you guys.
We actually had a conversation about this, and one of our other sister docs, Ruth, she said, facts don't lie. Ooh. You know what I mean? So when you come to work and you're doing everything that you're supposed to do, and you're checking all the boxes and you're doing the right things, nobody can say that you don't deserve to be there. Nobody can say that you're this or you're that. Like, nah, check my track record, check my work ethic. Like, I'm disproving you just by being myself and doing my best and knowing, what I want. So
I get it, girl.
And it's easier said than done, ladies. To all our young ladies, like, it's not always easy to come and put in your 110% because you always got to put that extra on to just be seen sometimes.
We just have to, yes, because they don't. We have to. We just have to.
So that's not an easy thing, but like I said, when you do all of those things, people, even if they try, take a look at the track record.
Right, read my facts.
Doesn't lie.
Read up. Learn. I love it. I love it. And I think you're doing an amazing job. And I'm so glad to be connected with you. I want to stay connected, and I want to get connected with the other sister docs because, check your credentials. But Dr. Barry be on it. Yes. Thank you. You got to check them. All right. So going aside from all the science stuff and the doctor and all this, I want to know about your family influence. And when I read about this, I was like, wow, that's amazing. So I love to hear your story, and I want others to be able to hear about it. So just tell us about your family and, everything and all the influence on you.
So I have thick Jamaican roots. My family, both my parents were born and raised in Jamaica. My dad's from St. Anne's. My mom is from Chilani.
Wow.
Back to all my Jamaicans.
Hey.
So I'm first generation American. My parents actually didn't do. My mom did like maybe a few classes in higher education, but didn't complete college. My dad only, completed high school. So, but when they came to America, they had such a strong work ethic, and they pushed all of us to just be and do our best. And it wasn't necessarily that they were like, oh, you have to be a doctor, you have to be this. It was just like, no, you're going to just do your best. We just want to see your best. Like, they never boxed us in, and they weren't necessarily like hovering over our shoulders or checking our homework, but they just expected a certain level of excellence, and that's what it was. And, whenever I would call from med school crying or whatever, my mom would be there with a word and a prayer. Like,
yes.
you're like, Jess, God put you there. He's going to see you through. You know what I mean? She was my number one supporter. Yeah, I know. Let me not even cry.
I'm just saying, our Smith Living say they are the most wonderful people.
They really are. They really are. So even though, like I said, they couldn't give me the tools and like the step-by-step, like this is what you need to do, this is what you need to buy, they were just always like my foundation, undergirding me. They gave me, you know, provided me with my faith in God and led me to the Lord and raised me, you know, in that way. And just when they released me into the world, they just continued to be just a quiet, silent force in my life, always praying and cheering me on. And so
that's
you
what
know, I couldn't
needs.
do it without them. And then my husband of 5 years was actually born in Jamaica, raised in New York, and so both his parents are from Jamaica. And we started dating when I was in medical school, and just he is just the most supportive, loving human being that I have ever met. I wouldn't be where I am today without him. When I got my degree, I said, this is our degree.
I know that's right. No way that is our degree. We put in the work together.
Amazing. And the way he loves me, I didn't even know I could experience that. So I'm so thankful that God put us together, and it's for a reason, and we're going to do great things together. So
yes, well, I'm fans already, so I'm going to keep watching and cheering, and I love it. I love it. I just love to hear your story. Like, I was like, still that's first. You was like, firstborn. I was like, wow, like that is just amazing.
Still first, so right.
I love it. I think that is awesome. So I love to close out just by like, what are your plans on giving back? And I know you talked about it throughout, and just what would you like to see? If it's not you, but through others, you know, like, what is your plans?
Well, I would love, one thing is to do more things like this. Just like you said, like us connecting on IG. And that's really why I created sort of my Jessica Briscoe MD Instagram.
Okay.
I really want to connect with women. Like, I want to be a champion for women. I just feel like there's so much power in us that I feel like is, you know, not even tapped into yet. And for those who maybe don't have that tribe that I talked about, or that support system that I talked about, like, you know, social media has really changed the game where you could be, you know, 1,000 miles by yourself, but to be able to connect with other people.
Yes.
Also, just like the phrase, I have a love-hate relationship with, like, you can't be what you can't see, which I disagree with, because then there wouldn't be any first, right? There wouldn't be any first, you know.
I love it.
So you can be what you can't see, but it does really help to see it. Or it does really help to have somebody reach back and say, girl, I see you. Like, you can do it. You know, even if you want to do GI, if you want to be a neurosurgeon, if you want to be, you know, an art teacher, if you want to be, you know what I mean, or do something where somebody says that you can't do it, you know, just to be able to give that support, that love, that say, okay, well, I may not know about this, but maybe I can connect you with this person who knows about it. Like, I don't know about radiology, but maybe I can connect you with Dr. Barry, who knows about the path of radiology. Or I don't know about this, but maybe I can connect you with so-and-so. So I think I want to be able to use a social platform to be able to do that, mentoring. And I do try to do it, you know, in every position that I'm in. So in every sort of step of my training, there's always been at least one or two girls that I've, you know, met or have, you know, come into contact with that needed help or whatever, or direction. And I've always tried to be there, whether it be little dinners, happy hours, whatever, you know, to help just be, you know, be there, like whatever I can do for you, however I can figure out how to help you, because I think that's what it is. Like, a lot of it is not like, you see people who have quote unquote made it or in the position that you want to be in, and you think that they had it all together, and it's like, girl, no, like, I was figuring out, I'm still figuring out every step, every day is something different. Like, I'm figuring it out, and I can help you try to figure it out as well. And that's like, really, like, don't put people on pedestals. Don't, you know, say like, wow, I could never do it, or I could never be there. Like, that's not true. Like, you have it, it's in you. And like, let me help bring that out of you. And you know what? In reciprocation, like, that may help bring something more out of me. You know what I mean? And so it's just, I think there's so much more that we could do, and I want to do that. So, and I don't necessarily have a concrete plan, but I'm hoping that every day God's going to order my steps and just like open doors and see how I can be used and effective.
And that's my thing too, because I do want to
that's my phone.
STEMsation. I know. I want to have a STEMsation Facebook where, or in Instagram, but like a group somehow that I can stay in contact with STEMsations, and then, like you said, just start trying to connect people that are coming through the fields, just somebody to say, girl, hey, this is how you do this. And like you said, I don't have it concrete, but that's something I'm working on towards too. And just like I said, I would love to stay in contact with you and your sister docs, because like I said, my student Lacey, she just posted, thank you both for this awesome interview as a future Black female physician speaking to existence.
Anything I can do, definitely direct message me. Like, I would love to talk, love to help, email, whatever.
Yes. So I think this is just a start. Like, we're just getting the word out there. And because 2 Sundays ago, I interviewed someone from London. She lives in London, but her family stuff is from the Congo. And so she just started coding, and it was just amazing. Like I said, it's just amazing to hear all her stories. And like you said, it's connected through her through Instagram, just like I did you. And then just now I feel like I can go to London and look her up and say, hey, girl, let's hang out. You know, like, we're girlfriends now.
Definitely. No, definitely.
Yeah.
A sisterhood.
Yes, I definitely want to keep in touch with you guys. Before I get Dr. Jessica off, if there's any other questions, I know we've been saying positive stuff throughout. And people have been tearing up because just your love story is just like, I was just like, I'm about to get some
Well,
tissue.
we both have wedding pictures in the back.
I know. And see, I'm at my mom's house, and she loves Obama. And
Obama. Okay.
So I had to put that in the background. I was like, I need this in my house, so this could be my background. Because these are the most admired Americans right now.
Yes.
So I was like, hey.
We didn't even talk about Auntie Michelle. Did you read the book?
Yeah, not yet. But I'm getting it because, you know, her birthday and my birthday is January 17th. And she was salutatorian of our high school class, and I was salutatorian. So I just feel a connection. Like, I'm like, Michelle is me, and I'm Michelle. So I'm definitely, I have the book
is amazing. I'm not even going to say anything.
I know. I definitely can't wait. And I want to do a book club and, you know, now that stuff. So I definitely want to do that. So, yes. Well, before we go, are you able to put in your comments? I know you said people can contact you. Did you put your contact information that you want?
Let me.
And I'll put my email, because for the other sister docs and all those that I'm always looking for STEMsation. So if you guys can please, like I say, check out the website, but also just email me your info, and then I can send you out just like I sent out Dr. Jessica.
Yep, so that's my email, and then either that or, you know, you can connect with me through Instagram at Jessica Briscoe MD.
Okay.
So either of those two.
Right.
Skincare routine, girl, you see me?
We are doing big things. So that's my email, info@knowledgeandA.com, and the website is knowledgeandA.com. So if you guys want to do that, and yes, I was gonna say her skin is just glowing. I'm like, what are you doing?
You don't even have time for that story. That's God too. Girl, if I showed you pictures from a year and a half ago, totally different.
See, we're going to come back to that. We're going to have to do a whole nother one on that, just skincare, because I actually have one of my former students too, Stephanie Richmond. She was my 7th grade science student, just like Lacey was. And she's going to school to be a cosmetic scientist. So she said, I don't want to work for MAC. I want to create my own line. And stuff, you know, so I just love it. I'm like, it's just, the sky's the limit. We're thinking outside the box. We're not letting nobody pigeonhole us. We are taking over. So I love it.
Well, anything I can help you with in the future, if you have any other endeavors, if you're looking for mentors, that type of thing. I have a ton of women who would love to.
I do. I need them all. And then I definitely would mind eventually putting in like a little conference or something. We can
definitely
do something together and like all meet up somewhere, you know, and just have us a STEMsation good time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So nice. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Guys out there, thank you for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a happy new year. For 2019, we are claiming it. This is our time. We are not hiding. We are not shrinking.
We're not shrinking.
We are not doing it. No imposter syndrome.
No imposter syndrome.
Showing up and showing out.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you guys. Enjoy. Please check out the website if you have not read about Dr. Jessica Briscoe, knowledgeandA.com. And please leave comments on the website so we can have comments as well. So Happy New Year to you guys, and see you in the new year, 2019.
Hey, Becky and Mark.
Yes, hey, everyone. Yes. Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye, guys. This is awesome.